Hello everybody, BadWeatherFreak here. This is your weekly update for first week of September. Today is September 7th, 2022. And what you guys are looking at right now is Hurricane Earl, which is the pretty much, at least regarding to the United States and Bermuda, this is the area to watch, or the storm to watch. As you can see here, pretty good. It's actually looking to trying to intensify a little bit, and you're gonna see where it's located. It's actually located more in the. It's in an area where. So let me just this. Yeah, here you go. So you guys can see it's pretty far north from the islands. And then over here, let me just kind of draw here. So you got Earl here. Then you have Danielle here, which is holding on pretty well. And as a matter of fact, Danielle actually broke a record for the most further, let me see, is a further north storm accumulating ace points. So ace points is, I believe it stands for accumulated or cumulative cyclone energy, which is a unit that meteorologists do use to gauge how busy was a season, in a sense. So when you got storms that are very strong and they're long-lived, so they have long tracks, meaning that they are holding on and they don't dissipate too quickly, they keep racking up those ace points, and eventually that's how a lot of the meteorologists and the experts measure how busy a season was. So, Danielle is looking very impressive all the way up here. It's holding on. Obviously it's gonna start losing some of its punch, but you're gonna see in another map that I'm gonna show you here. You're gonna see why Danielle is holding on the way it is. You can see how dark this is. Way that sea surface temperatures are way above average, and that's what's happening. So Danielle is kind of somewhere in here, and that's why it's in the deepest or in the darkest red, which means that it's in very warm temperatures. So it's interesting. Now, like I said before, the main thing we're looking for is actually Hurricane Earl, because it's heading potentially. We'll see we may have to see if the track kind of changes, but right now you're looking at potentially affecting Bermuda. Now this is basically the wind speeds. This is a pretty cool tool here. So as you can see, 68 miles per hour, 59, all the way around. Now closer to the eye, we may see some stronger than that, but if you move forward in the future, you can kind of see that it gets pretty close to Bermuda there. It looks like it's definitely not going to be a direct landfall, but when you look here, you can see that. Let me go back. Actually, I messed this up. Let me back up. Let me go back in here again. Yeah, let's kind of do the same thing. So let's move forward in the future again. Now you got Bermuda here, because I want to see approximately what kind of winds are you guys going to expect over in Bermuda, as long as the track doesn't shift any further. That's the question here. So now we're going into Thursday night. So it looks like the closest the storm is going to be is probably going to be about Friday morning. And we're looking about potentially 37 to 40, 45 mile per hour winds, depending how close the storm gets to the island. But right there is looking like it's not going to obviously make a direct impact, but you guys still gonna feel potentially tropical storm winds in Bermuda. Now, we're still waiting. Today's Wednesday, so we still got a couple of days where the track can shift more westward, and if it does, obviously, then you may get over 40, 50 mile per hour winds. But right now, that's what it's looking like, anywhere from 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. Now let's go back and see another. This is a vorticity product, so you can kind of see where we had the two storms. This is another area that we're watching here, closer to Africa, which potentially may develop into something. See this area here. Now let's take a look at the ocean analysis. Here you guys can see that La Nina is kind of stable. It dipped, then it kind of started curling back up and dip again, and now it's just flat. So that's something that, again, we need to look at. But sea surface temperatures are just so warm. I mean, and that's the other thing for Earl. That's why it's holding up and potentially intensifying even further. And it's because it's just so warm. The water is an abnormally warm here, and that's what's happening with these storms. Now let me show you guys. Let's see. Okay, well, the GFS doesn't have any any data. What about the European? Let's take a look at the European model. Now see, here's Earl. Here's the other area that I was telling you about. And you got Danielle up here. So if we go forward, you can see again that, I mean, hasn't got new data yet, but this is the furthest it's go at 27 hours. So we'll get some new with data. But this is the other area that we need to keep watching for potential development. Now let's check out the Canadian model. Okay, the Canadian model definitely has more data. So as you can see, Earl keeps intensifying. I mean, 960s, 970s, and of course, the further north it goes, it's gonna keep getting weaker, of course. But it looks like it picks up again and then just kind of dissipates. But this is still lingering here, that low surface pressure. Now the Navy shows a couple of areas down here. Now if this plays out, we need to keep an eye on, because this high pressure systems will be blocking these storms, unless one of these weakens enough and it kind of that allows a little bit of a break here in the high pressure. Then you get these storms kind of curl up. But right now it's looking like, we'll see. I mean, it's looking like it may be blocked, but we'll see. Now some of the other hurricane forecasting models, so you get Bermuda here, and then this is Earl, and again very, very close, but stronger. These models usually have the storm stronger. Is it gonna kind of develop? I mean, like this, it may, but it's pretty far to the east of the Bermuda, so should be okay. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. But again, right now, that's what we're looking at. As far as for us in the United States, I mean, there's not a whole lot. Let's take a look at the spaghetti model. Same thing there. Everything pretty much is in agreement that it's going to be well to the east of Bermuda, Earl. But right now, we're looking at, for the United States, not a whole lot is happening. And before I forget, let me also mention another hurricane here. Let me go back and show you K. Now K is in the Gulf of Mexico right now. So K has pressure of 975, which that's fairly low. And this is basically what you guys are looking at here in Baja California. So you may get scraped by Hurricane K, depending, if the track shifts a little bit further. But a lot of people under tropical storm watches and warnings, hurricane warnings, and tropical storm watches. So if you guys are in Baja California, I mean, you may get a direct impact of Hurricane K. Now let's take a look at this one more time here. So we got, one more time, just as a recap, we got Danielle. Very weird tracks. It looked like it actually may go to Portugal and Spain eventually. But you see this big loop that it's doing. But not as a hurricane, so that's a good thing. Then if we look at the cone for Earl, you're going to see that Earl near Bermuda. it's gonna actually intensify to a major hurricane. So that's again something we have to watch. Bermuda under a tropical storm warning right now. And then I already show you K. But let's look at the wind probability for Earl. As you can see, there's a good probability you guys are gonna get a decent amount of wind. How I showed you on the other chart with the winds, 30 to 40 mile per hour winds most likely. And then for Hurricane Danielle, again, it's just a mess because it's supposed to turn and then eventually come towards Portugal. So that's all I have for you guys right now. Of course, anything changes, I'll keep you guys posted. Same thing if it gets closer than expected to Bermuda and it creates more impacts. I will definitely show you guys, some of the impacts and all that stuff. But right now, that's all I have for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with families and friends, especially if they are located in Bermuda. And if anything else develops, I will keep you guys posted. Thank you for watching and have a good day.